In this video, I'm going to be switching from my MacBook Pro to the Dell XPS 16. And the first thing I need to do is implement it in my desk setup. So let's go ahead and set it up. Since this laptop only has Type-C ports, I'm not able to directly connect the HDMI cable to it, but luckily it comes with this dongle that has a Type-A and HDMI port. One thing I'm noticing about opening and closing this laptop is that when you try to open it like with all of your fingers, it's harder, and it's easier just to do it with your thumb. Now let's go ahead and download a video editing software, but before I even do that, I need to do some research on Windows video editing software. Let's see what we have here. So DaVinci Resolve is free and there's a pro grade. I'm gonna go ahead and download DaVinci Resolve. So I was trying to download DaVinci Resolve earlier and it downloaded some random video editing software, but hopefully this one is legit over here. Resolve has just finished installing. Let's see how long it takes to open this up. Alright, not bad. The battery is at 100% now. I'm going to go ahead and take this off and start the timer. Okay. If I'm not holding this laptop, it's sliding with this. I kind of have to be quick with it if I want to just take it out like that. Now comparing it to MagSafe here, it just magnetically attaches and magnetically detaches. It's not really an issue, it's just something a Mac user will notice. Alright, starting the battery test, we are currently at 99%. Now let's quickly talk about the ports. On the right side, it's got a headphone jack, a Thunderbolt 4 port, and a micro SD card slot. Then on the left side, we get two more Thunderbolt 4 ports. Now let's do a gaming test. Before I begin, let's do a quick specs rundown. This has Intel Core Ultra 9 Series 1 processor, RTX 4060 with 8GB of GDDR6 VRAM, 32GB of LPDDR5X RAM with Wi-Fi 7 and a 99.5 watt-hour battery. And I gotta say, the first thing I can notice right here right away is just the overall sharpness. I have not seen Marvel Rivals look so sharp coming from a console playing on a TV. This just looks super sharp here. For the display settings, we have anti-aliasing and super resolution type. I have never seen this, and I'm going to turn on NVIDIA DLSS.
It's designed to boost gaming performance by rendering games at a lower resolution and then using AI to upscale the image to a higher target resolution, making it look sharper and closer to the native resolution.
So there's like TAAU, I have no idea what that is. Epic TSR, never heard of these terms over here. AMD FSR, I have heard of this one. Right now I'm going to turn off DLSS and I'm going to turn this off as well, which is NVIDIA DLSS frame generation. I'm going to turn that off. As soon as I turned it off, the FPS has dropped to 40 frames per second now. You know, I was playing this yesterday and then I jumped over to my console. The graphics, I warn you, before playing on PC, it will spoil you. The graphics are like that. And then I'm also going to turn off render scaling all the way down and see what happens.
Pick your hero or villain, I'm not judging.
It's capable of getting 60 FPS here. Okay, but the graphics do not look good. It looks like it is 720p, maybe 480p even. So definitely not going to be playing like this. Let's go ahead and switch it over to 75. Okay, boom. Let's see how this goes. Alright, looks better, but the FPS has dropped significantly. It's down to about 30 FPS now. But the graphics definitely look better. Alright, redoing this thing now. Render scaling set to 100. And DLSS is turned off. The frame rate has dropped to 20 FPS. The game is looking super choppy, but the graphics look super crispy. It looks amazing. Let's go ahead and turn on DLSS. Enter. Alright, DLSS turned on. It has jumped up to 30 FPS now. The game is finally somewhat playable at 100% render scaling. Okay, getting about 40 FPS now, right now. So with DLSS turned on and render scaling set to 100%, on battery power, this laptop is capable of getting anywhere from 30 to 40 FPS. I did not see that option earlier, did I? Hold on, let me turn off that. Okay, yeah, render scaling is what it was. Okay, so many options here. DLSS, super resolution sharpening, I'm going to turn that up to 100%, and I'm going to turn on NVIDIA DLSS frame generation set to 2x. Boom, and the FPS has increased once again. Now it is getting 40 FPS, over 40 frames per second, touching almost 50 frames per second right now. Game definitely looks smoother, and it's playable for sure. Frame generation is on. Let's see how this performs. With ultra quality settings, we're getting about 38 to 42 FPS now. What's going on? So right now you are looking at the webcam and the microphone quality of the XPS 16. I have this light over here turned up all the way. Now let's test out the low lights performance. I'm going to turn down the brightness over here of this light down to 50%. It's still plenty bright in here, but now you can see there's more noise being introduced in the video. Let's turn it down all the way. And this is what it looks like. Now it's time to test out the transfer speeds, but before I do that, let's check out the battery life. So it's been a little over 3 hours, 11 minutes, and the battery is currently at 32%. So far, I've been gaming. This laptop has been sleeping for about an hour. I watched some YouTube videos and, I was just setting up stuff and downloading some software. So I got the Mac right here. We're going to test the transfer speeds on both. So I will be transferring 62.6 gigabyte worth of files to this computer, and let's see how long that takes. In terms of speeds, we are getting 1 to 1.2 gigabytes per second here. Says about 45 seconds left. It has already transferred over 30 gigabytes. $20 gigs left. 37 seconds. I do like how informative Windows is. I've never seen transfer speed like that on my Mac. Boom. It took 55 seconds to transfer 62.6 gigabytes worth of files. Now let's see how long it takes on the MacBook. Transferring has begun, and it is zooming. It might just beat the XPS over here. 10 seconds left. Let's see how it goes. 20 seconds in. Okay, that is quite impressive. 23 seconds. I don't think I have ever edited videos on a Windows device. Boom. There we go. You can see it freezing up right here. Quite interesting. Is that actually frozen, or maybe I just don't know how to use this? I don't actually, so it's just not a maybe. I don't know how to use this. The video playback seems to be in good quality and it's quite smooth here. Also, this capacitive row right here, it is a nice touch. I like this. It's a clean aesthetic, and if you want to lock in the F keys up there, all you have to do is press the function key and escape, and then there you go. You can also hold these buttons so it increases. You don't have to tap on it like this. Right now, what I can tell just from having a bunch of random clips on here, it is pretty smooth. It's a good editing experience here so far. I don't even know if I'm zooming out. Now let's check the battery life. We are at 22% and it has been 3 hours 36 minutes. Now I'm going to plug it in and we're going to jump back into Marvel Rivals and see how that game will perform. Let me put another clip right here. See how it does.
Well, I do have a laptop, HP laptop. But anyways,
good performance.
it's pretty fun.
So from this very amateur testing right here, I can say that this is capable of editing videos. Look at the smoothness of just scrolling through the timeline here. Very nice. And with this being a touchscreen, I can just zip around like that. By the way, plugged it in 21%. It lasted up to 21%, and we are at 3 hours 40-minute mark. Pretty good battery life. The screen also gets pretty bright as 400 nits. So using this indoors, even with lights everywhere, I'm still able to easily view the screen. Woo! Check that out. Earlier in the main menu, we were getting about 70 frames per second, and right now we are getting over 130 frames per second. That is incredible. Okay, over here it's dropped down. Fans are going crazy. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's looking pretty 60 over here. 60 FPS. It has just dropped down. Let's see what we get. Currently getting 60 FPS. That is good to see. Here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, that's so much better. Oh yeah, 60 FPS, so much smoother. Almost feels like I'm playing at like 100 FPS compared to 30 FPS. So the performance has definitely gone up. We are now consistently getting over 60 FPS. It's getting 72 FPS now. Don't mind me playing with this trackpad. I'm just, seeing what the score's like over here. Okay, oh yeah, 60 FPS looks good. I'm actually going to get the controller and play this game. As soon as I take this out, let's see how this performs. 50 FPS. It cannot touch 60 FPS without it being plugged in. And 60 FPS is where it's at. There's definitely more detail and higher graphical fidelity gaming on PC compared to console. The game is finally playable to me. Let's demo the speaker some more. I'm going to turn it up all the way here. Also, if you haven't seen, check out my previous video of unboxing this, where I also do a Bit more in-depth speaker comparison with the MacBook Pro. What is this?
Vengeance is mine.
She's trying to like moonwalk behind.
Even I think you're crazy.
Ooh, look at that reflection there. I don't know if I've noticed this on my console, but whoa, that reflection is looking super reflective there.
Judge, jury, execute, haunts you. I am vengeance.
Check out my username. Woo! Alright, that was fun. Level 3. You see, I can finally call myself Also, if you guys are having issues with your T9 not connecting to your MacBook like I am right now, just connect it to your Windows computer if you have one, and then there's going to be an option that says repair drive. And just like that, it repairs it, and I can now use this with my MacBook.